What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of the Rays video. Quick little discussion video today that I wanted to bring to you all. We're getting close to the 3-year anniversary. Like they said in the last producer's letter, this next coming update was to kind of prepare the game for the next anniversary. So we'll probably get some new game modes, such as the new tower we're getting, maybe some new updates. Maybe they'll add a new character level cap. I don't think they will, because I feel like a lot of people don't have characters to level 70 because it's really grindy to get them up there. But you never know, anything could happen. But mainly what I wanted to talk about here was who we could expect as the villain for the year 3 anniversary. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a villain that we get. You know, they could switch things up and they could just have like a really hyped character that's like a heroic character on that side. But if we just go by the track record that this game has had since its release, year 1 we got Mythos, year 2 we got Douse, and they've pretty much added everyone from the poll that they did a little while ago, which, let's actually pull that up real quick. There it is. I actually looked it up relatively recently. The villain poll that we had right here, which is nice that it's on Reddit. So this was deciding who would be our year 1 character. So before we got our year 1 anniversary, they had this poll go on, and Mythos was obviously the one who got the most points. And then in second was Douse, third was Duke, fourth was Gaius, and fifth was Artorias. And then there's a bunch of other characters, you know, down the line here that also got pretty high votings in the top 16. Obviously, it's not translated, so I can't tell you who all the characters are. But if you look at this list, 4 of these 5 characters are already in the game. We got Mythos for the year 1 anniversary. We got Douse for year 2. I think like a few months after year 2, we got Duke with the DMA banner for Yuri, Jude, and Saray. Gaius came during a summer event, so he wasn't even... It was obviously Zillia 2 Gaius. We didn't get Zillia 1 Gaius, which I don't know if they'll ever give us like an angry Zillia 1 version of him, but probably not. So the only person on this list from the top 5 that we don't have is Artorias, and I've speculated Artorias for a while, just because if you look at it, obviously when we get these villain banners, like these raid events, anniversary or not, it's always a character that's the villain, the character that's associated with the villain from the main game, and then 2 other random characters that are thrown on it. Like if you look at, for Mythos, we got Decisive Mirage Arts for Lloyd, and then they had Cress on there, and then they had Luke on there. For Douse's banner, they changed it a little bit because they already did the hero from that game. So for year 2, they did the heroines that are associated with the hero. So since we had Lloyd, Cress, and Luke, for Douse's banner, we had Tyr, Mint, and Colette. So there was still some relevance there. For Duke's banner, obviously, we had Yuri. That was the relevance there. Gaius, they just did during a summer event with Muse, so you can't really compare it there. It wasn't a raid event. But I've always speculated that maybe for year 3, we could get an Artorias banner, with Velvet getting a Decisive Mirage Art because she doesn't have one yet. And then the only other main protagonist, if they don't do what they did with Douse's banner, with doing the heroines of a game, there's 4 characters left from main series titles that do not, well, I mean, you could say one is technically a, an escort title, but it still counts because we just got Caius getting his Decisive Mirage Art. But there's 4 main Tales characters that you can see on the opening loading screen from their own games that do not have Decisive Mirage Arts. It's Velvet, it's Emile, it's Lugger, and it's Belle. Those are the only 4 from the current, not counting Arise because the game's not even out yet. Those are the 4 characters from, main video game titles that aren't gacha games or some spin-offs or what. I mean, even the Radiant Mythology characters already have their Decisive Mirage Arts. So, my thought is that they could probably go that route. They could have Artorias be the boss character, Velvet will be the main Decisive Mirage Art character, and then maybe between the 3 of Emile, Belle, and Lugger, 2 of those characters could get Decisive Mirage Arts here, which is kind of weird because we're going to be usually they do these Decisive Mirage Arts on like 3 a character, kind of banners. So someone here is going to get shafted in some way and just be on a much later banner. If we look at the Mirage Art count for these characters, let's go to all the characters that I just mentioned, and let's look at how much they actually have. So in order, the first character would be Emil. So let's go to Emil's page. He currently only has 2 Mirage Arts and 1 Spirit Gear. We're not counting free Mirage Arts. He has 2 regular Mirage Arts. His Life is Ratatosk one, which is just the regular one, and the Lack of Courage, which is the overray where Emil and Ratatosk attack together. So he only has 2 summonable Mirage Arts. He's due for a seasonal at some point, which a lot of people still speculate it'll probably be his pirate outfit from Asteria, which they would definitely probably do during like the summertime. That definitely feels like more of a summertime kind of Mirage Art, not really a Halloween type thing. Plus, it'd be kind of weird if Marta and Emil both had Halloween Mirage Arts. So there is a chance they might not choose Emil for this, and he might just get waited till the summer, get a seasonal, and then he could get Decisive Mirage Art maybe when they add Alice and Decus to the game, because we have seen Decus be relevant in the story lately, so maybe like towards the tail end of the year, Emil could get his Decisive Mirage Art around that time, or even later, who knows. So that's our first character, Emil, to kind of look at there. Second, let's scroll down. It's kind of funny how Kohaku is the first one here. Let's look at Asbel. Asbel, I feel like, is one of the lesser choices here, just for the simple fact that he has more Mirage Arts than some of the other characters. So Asbel here has 4, well, we're not counting the free one, so he has 3 Mirage Arts here. His all in this together one, which is his regular Mirage Art. His Exclipse Drummer, which was obviously from the Sarah event type thing, which is his seasonal, I guess you could call it. I mean, it is a seasonal. And then we have his Overray, which is a huge spoiler, and it's his Decision to Coexist, which the name in itself is also a huge spoiler. So he has 3. So already he has, I feel like, less of a chance than Emil just because of the amount of Mirage Arts that he has already. But I also feel like Asbel is a more popular character than Emil, so having Asbel for an anniversary makes more sense than Emil just overall. Plus, Emil is from an escort title while Asbel is from a main series title. There's also another thing we could see. Sophie, it's very debatable. It really just comes down to what you feel, but some people would say that Sophie is the main character of Tales of Graces, even though you play the game from Asbel's point of view. So there is the slight chance that we could get Sophie getting a Decisive Mirage Art because she does not have one currently. So Sophie could definitely be another kind of wild card there, just depending on how you look at the game. And Sophie herself has plenty here. She has a regular Mirage Art. She has a collab Mirage Art when they did this Star Ocean event. She has her Halloween Mirage Art from year 1. And then she has a Spirit Gear, if you want to count that as a Mirage Art. So she really only has 3, and then she has a Spirit Gear. So overall, she is probably one of the lesser choices, just because when people think Tales of Graces, they do think overall, you know, you personally might feel different, but most people will say Asbel is the main character. So that's the kind of options there for Graces. And obviously, like I said, we're going to include Velvet because if it's Artorias, they're not going to not have Velvet as the main character there. Let's go to Lugger. I believe Lugger, and here's the stipulation with Lugger, is he's getting a Mirage Art at the end of this week. When we get the second Gintama banner, he's getting a collab Mirage Art. So that's kind of the stipulation there, that I feel like they wouldn't have Lugger get a collab Mirage Art now, and then a month and a half from now, or a month and like 2 weeks, give him another Mirage Art. So I feel like Lugger is probably the lowest chance. I feel like the perfect banner to kind of do here would just have Artorias be the main character, the villain, and then you have Velvet, Emil, and Asbel as Asbel or Sophie, whatever they decide to go with, as the characters for that banner. So let's look at what Lugger has here. He has 3 currently, if you don't count his new one that he's getting. I believe the 17th, I think, is Friday. And that's when the second Gintama banner will be dropping. So he has his regular Mirage Art. He has his seasonal, which was, I think, a New Year's one. And then he has his overray, which is Soul Purification, which is basically just his Chromatus. So that's really he has 3 Mirage Arts as well. So really, Emil, I would say, in terms of the amount that he has, probably should be on this New Year's banner, alongside Velvet, just because of the amount. But you never know. In terms of popularity, they obviously want to make these anniversary banners sell. So it just really depends what people want the most. Plus, Emil does have a Spirit Gear already, while someone like Lugger does not, so maybe another Mirage Art is in the cards. But I just don't see it, just based on the fact that he is getting a collab Mirage Art in less than a week from now. So we have these 3 Mirage Arts here. But yeah, if you look at every other character here, obviously I didn't count Tales of Link because that's another gacha game, and I don't feel like they put Tales of Link as a main character on a Tales of the Rays anniversary banner. I feel like Tales of Link might do something this year with all 4 of their characters. Maybe all 4 of them could get decisive Mirage Arts. And then they also... I'm not counting Lippy, because Lippy is a whale unit. You only get Lippy max, usable if you're a whale. We could definitely get a Tales of Link villain, and then all 4 of them here. Maybe not even all 4, honestly, it's really hard to say. Alan and Zephyr will definitely get either seasonals or, decisive Mirage Arts this year, but it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate all 4 of them. We could also get 2 separate banners, kind of like they're doing with Gintama. They could literally do, I didn't follow the Tales of Link story that much, but if there's, 2 villains they could add, maybe add 1 villain with Sarah and Kana getting decisive Mirage Arts, and then, a week later, add another villain with Alan and Zephyr getting decisive Mirage Arts. All the Kononos have their decisive Mirage Arts already. Rondaline still needs one. But since she's technically just a newer version of Fantasia, a character for that, I don't know if she would get a decisive Mirage Art for an anniversary. That just doesn't feel likely. Now here's the other thing. There is one more thing that they could do here to kind of mix things up a little bit from how they normally do it. We could totally see a Rays exclusive anniversary. So what I mean by that is we could totally see, let's go back to the top actually, they should be up here. We could totally see decisive Mirage Arts for characters like Ix, Melina, Marcus, and Kokis, or Karia, whichever ones they decide to choose. The only thing that I have, here's the thing, Melina hasn't gotten a Mirage Art in forever, but the thing that's against her is that she has so goddamn many. You look at her Mirage Arts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she has 5 Mirage Arts plus a Spirit Gear, so technically 6. But she hasn't gotten anything since her Spirit Gear, which was at the beginning of this arc, basically almost a year ago now. So we could totally see a OC banner with maybe Mercuria or something as the villain that we get, depending on how the story's kind of going. Maybe they add her to our party, and then if Mercuria gets added, maybe we get Ix, Melina, Marcus, and Kokis, because maybe they feel like Karia is still too early to get something new. Honestly, if I was to choose, I would actually prefer if it was just Kokis and Karia, and then Kokis, Karia, and Marcus. So you have all the Mirites being the ones who essentially get a new Mirage Art as opposed to Ix and Melina. But at the same time, Ix doesn't have his own overray yet, which I feel kind of holds him back a little bit. He has a decent amount. I mean, he does. We do have Cost of Awakening, but that's really Kokis' Mirage Art. It's not Ix's Mirage Art. Which I still feel like they should have given that to, excuse me, to Kokis, but it is what it is. Kokis was deemed as a new character. But those are pretty much my thoughts. I feel like either we're going to get Artorias as the anniversary character with Velvet Gang and Decisive Mirage Art and 2 other characters, or they might go the full OC route where we get Mercuria or somebody. Definitely not going to get Glasstain. That's for sure. It's way too soon for that. But maybe Mercuria, and then maybe we get the Mirites, because Marcus and Kokis have been around for quite a while, and I definitely do think they need new Mirage Arts. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think we're going to see for a 3-year anniversary banner? I'm definitely interested to see what everyone thinks. But other than that, guys, that's going to be it. When we start getting info on the 3rd year anniversary, I will definitely keep you guys updated, because we have So we have this Gintama stuff that's actually going until the 30th. But here's the thing with that. It's probably not going to be an event you farm like crazy, because we still have several things during this month to kind of get to. We do still have the Spirit Gear event that's going to be starting at some point, probably around between the 20th to the 25th. And then we also have the Destiny 2 event that's probably going to start at the very end of the month. And then we're probably going to have one more event before the anniversary, which will be the Valentine's event, which is why I'm hoping that this Gintama banner is nice to me so I can stop summoning early, because I'm like 90% sure Sheena is going to be on that Valentine's banner, because there really aren't many girls left to kind of use for that don't already have a Mirage art. I mean, there's several characters that have been around for a while, like Nanali's been around. I still say Sheena because Sheena's just got her rerun event, and she's one of the only Mirage Prison characters that's... Actually, no, I think she is still Fairy's Requiem. But she's a character that's been around for over a year that still doesn't have a Mirage art. She's starting to get into that guide territory. Rubia, maybe. Probably not. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much it. So yeah, after the Valentine's event, we'll probably start getting that login bonus and all that good stuff for the 3-year anniversary. Obviously, at the beginning of February, whenever we get the PV, we'll obviously hint to us what the anniversary is actually going to entail. So if you need to save for that, you should be able to, which is going to be tough for me because depending on the anniversary units, I want to summon for that, but I also need to make sure I get a seasonal for Sheena, so it's going to be a pretty big toss-up. Like I said, hopefully this Gintama banner is good to me, or banners. But that's going to be it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.